Hello techies, I'm Divya here. On behalf of CyberBrainer, don't you think the world of tech is evolving faster than ever? Now is the perfect time to dive in and build the skills that will take you places. With CyberBrainer, we are putting you in the driver's seat of your own future. We at CyberBrainer don't just teach your interest. We believe that knowledge is power, but it's applied knowledge that truly sets you apart. Whether you're diving into data science, mastering artificial intelligence, or exploring the world of cybersecurity, our courses are designed to give you the skills that matter. So let's jump into the session and make the future yours today. Thank you.
Then first thing, what is IaaS? What are the roles and responsibilities of IaaS in terms of taxes? What is IaaS? Internal Revenue Service. Who is controlling all the taxes? For example, I want to start a business in USA. Could be a small one with minimum 20 employees. What is my first step? I need to apply for my FIN number. What is your FIN? Federal Employer Identification Number. Why then? Why we need this number? Aniket, any idea why we need this number? FIN number. What happens if I directly go and start my own business without informing person? You would have to apply for a unique number from the government. And also the taxes. The taxes will be, federal government will track through this FIN number. Are you paying taxes for your business? Are you paying taxes for your employees? Everything can be tracked through this, a unique number which is given by the federal. In India also we will call it as TIN number, tax identification number. In US we will call it as IN number or FIN number. In India, TIN tax identification number. That with the help of this tax identification number, we will track whether a company has been paying the bill. Forget about the profit and the profit. You know that is financial one. Employees taxes. 100 employees are working. The 100 employees needs to pay taxes. 100 employees needs to pay taxes. How federal government will know, IRS will know, all 100 employees has been paid the taxes with the help of this FIN number. Just taking an example. In CP, we will call it Shannon mapping. What does it mean? For example, in year, we have 12 months. For example, thank you for your presentation. We have 12 months in 1 year. Every month, assume considering the semi-monthly or whatever, assume employee earning every month. Employee will pay the taxes. Employees will pay taxes. It means the employer will hold certain taxes from the employee. Employee will hold deduct. This is the you are following in this slab. This is the tax for this current month. I'm holding this amount. And this is your gross. After calculating your taxes other direction, this is your net. All the taxes every 3 months. Every 3 months they will pay to IRS. While they will say employers, Employees every quarter will require to pay to IRS. Whenever they're paying to IRS will ask include the number. What is that number? Fee number. With the help of this number, IRS has a proof. These many employees working for this employer. They are paying taxes on time with this. That you will also know on which tax number you are paying employer fee in. Like this, every quarter, sorry. And then here and year end. Employer has to pay tax. We as employees every month, we will contribute tax amount, but employee will pay to the IRS on every quarter. And then what will receive? The month of June. This is the proof for us. This is the proof for us. How much we have on per annum, how much tax we have paid in a per each quarter and also per annum. What is your total gross? What is your total net? What is your total tax? Other source of income, etc. Any questions, madam? Tax person. Excuse me. This is the IRS room. Now, what are configurations we have here? The first step is set up company federal tax ID. As I said, each entity. If anyone would like to start a business in USA, the federal government will give any FEIN number. That FEIN number we need to map in this task. We need to map the federal employer identification number in this task. And then, after we will access set up company federal taxes. Here by default you have OESD Medicare taxes. Here you need to select whether you're going to withhold the taxes or multiple checks or one check. What are the difference? Sometimes employer may require for off-cycle one check and the supplemental check. We will tell our regular check. If you're paying off-cycle payments separately, then supplemental check. Those at the same time, if you'd like to give exemption for any reason for federal taxes or state taxes, there are certain check boxes you need to select. Can you tell me any reason? Sometimes some employers may apply for exemptions. Can you give me one example charities? For instance, I'm working for a charity and 20 hours I'm working. I'm getting very minimal amount. And this I'm doing a service, minimal amount I'm getting. I can apply for a tax exemption. There are certain sections in IRS. If any one of the section met, you can exempt for the taxes. You can. First you have to apply for tax exemptions. That will cover in this step. Slide door topic. Please bear with me. Here we will discuss. Similarly, once you map the federal tax ID, then we'll configure FUI, SUI, etc. Now what is this FUI, SUI? We discussed federal state. We discussed a World Saving Deposit Insurance, OSB and Medicare. What is the FUI, anyone? Yes, federal unemployment insurance, state unemployment insurance. What is federal unemployment insurance and state unemployment insurance? The employer pays it on behalf of a full-time employee in case they become unemployed for any reason. If you see in this pandemic when Mr. President Donald Trump is working, he's a president. At that time, the entire world was hit with this. COVID affected and impacted. Federal government has taken a position. If anyone lost their jobs or anyone is required or terminated with not a valid reason or bankrupt, they can go for FUI. They can claim your unemployment insurance. We do have. In India also the same thing happened. Indian government has announced, if anyone one of the family member has been impacted with this COVID or anyone has lost a job, please claim your Provident Fund, PF, for emergency situations. They can apply for this FUI and continuously they can receive certain amount, some checks for not more than 6 months until they'll get into a new job for regular expenses. These chances. Also, we have an option exempt or non-exempt, exemption or non-exemption. Similarly, state unemployment insurance is not mandatory. Employer needs to contribute for FCOI. It's up to employers. Employer can contribute, employee should contribute. Employer also can contribute or employer can step back. Employer has an option decision, but federal employment insurance mandatory employer also needs to be contributed. That amount employee can claim later. They are running to certain critical issues like lost the job, bankrupt, etc. That exemptions. Here are a few exemptions: older savings, deposit insurance, Medicare. And the state tax is also similar: residence tax, work tax, and also state unemployment insurances. Single check, regular check, or multiple checks configurations. And if you want to exempt any employees who work in particular state, you can cite the checkboxes. During configuration, I'll explain in detail, don't mind. It's just a worry. I'm trying to that you will, generally the terminology, etc. Similarly, city or local taxes. We don't have any specific tasks. In one task only set up state tax example. Try not to slow. In one task, we can configure state tax and also local tax. State tax, you can configure local tax also. You can configure one tax. For example, Illinois. Of course, during configuration, I'll explain. Here we'll add the adder based on how many states we are operating the business. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.